Welcome to Millennials with Mics, discussions about movies, politics, religion, and more. I'm Aaron Mason.
And I'm Christian Stevens.
Good afternoon, everyone. Afternoon for when we're recording this, at least.
Yeah.
How's your week been so far?
It's been very slow yet productive, Aaron. How, you say?
Yeah.
It's quite simple. All the days run together now these days, don't they? It's all one long day. Broken up into what I decide to watch, and what I decide to read, and what I decide to drink. And that's how I can tell one day from another.
Yeah, of course, I'm working from home still, so
that's lucky for you.
That helps break it up a little bit. Mm-hmm. Work, admittedly, is a little slow, being in marketing and things like construction. Our construction projects have not slowed down, but marketing just in general has slowed down majorly. So Definitely. My days are usually pretty fucking easy.
That's good.
But breaking it up, like you said, between what I'm reading that day or one day with what I'm watching that day with what Lauren wants to do and things like that. So
right.
Very monotonous.
Yes, to say the least.
Sometimes it bothers you more than others, you know?
Yeah.
But, it was really getting to Lauren before she went to work today. She's still working, fortunately.
She's a bit more of an extrovert, isn't she?
It comes and goes.
Comes and goes.
But she actually gets to go out and go to work.
Yeah.
And so that's, nice.
Yeah. At least you get to,
leave for more than an hour at a time. But, it's difficult for everybody.
I know.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's true.
One good thing for me, I've been reading way more than I have in the last 15 years.
I've noticed that. That's good.
And it's been nice. It really has.
That's a healthy new hobby to get into.
It's something I'd like to keep up. I had started reading a little bit last year.
Oh, definitely.
But this year's really, just in the last month, I think I've read 5 books, something like that. So that's good, at least.
As long as you, have, your little, goal list of what you want to accomplish, what you want to read. And then once you finish that book, you already know what your next few are going to be. Mm-hmm. That's how it's easy for me, too. It's I try to think a few at a time to keep me, interested and, involved in different books by different people. And that way you're not what am I going to read next? Well, keep always thinking about that,
Yeah.
Same with when I do, my binge marathons. It's just think of different films and think of different TV shows and da-da-da-da-da.
No, that's very true. But one thing some people are doing more than others, which we talked about this with liquor stores being considered essential businesses.
Very essential.
Is people are drinking more, apparently.
Well, pharmacies, like liquor stores, are important. It has their version of cough syrup and...
Their version.
It is medicinal to an extent.
I made a video for work that was thank you to essential workers.
Oh, okay.
And we listed some healthcare professionals, of course, grocery stores, pharmacists, maintenance people, truckers, things like that.
Definitely.
Liquor store attendees didn't get the cut, though.
You would think. I know alcohol, for a lot of people who don't drink, it's not as
essential
as food, obviously.
Yeah. But for some people it is. That's how some people are getting by.
I'm one of those people. Yeah, you can cook and eat all day, but to be through this whole thing sober is not saying I'm drunk
You're
or
not
anything.
drunk all the time.
But I have to be somewhat lucid there.
I think since I started working at home, I think since I started working at home a month and a half ago or so, I think I might have had 3 alcoholic drinks in that time.
That's unfortunate.
Of course, I've never been a big home drinker, except when
Well,
I was a big home drinker, but when
what
I
you
drink,
mean.
I've always gone out to bars when I'm going to drink, and so it's just.
But you can't right now.
I can't right now.
But you don't think about it as much.
And I don't think about it. Unless I'm going out to do that, it's just not something I generally think about. I might have a, bubbly or LaCroix or something like that with alcohol, mixed with vodka or something
Hard
like that.
seltzer. Just kidding.
But homemade White Claw.
This is the homebrew White Claw.
But sometimes I'll do that. Sometimes I'll do rum and Coke or whiskey and Coke or something like that. But
yeah, I was like
every now and
rum
then.
and Baja Blast has been
Yeah, now you can get bottles and cans of it and stuff.
precisely, so that's been nice.
Well, that leads nicely into our this week's topic, which is alcohol.
Yeah.
Some of our favorite brands, cocktails, bars for when places open back up.
Yeah.
And even some of our least favorite brands.
Definitely. It's important
cocktails.
when you go towards these topics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Can't just always talk about the favorites. We gotta recognize those shitty brands out there, if it be booze, food, restaurants, whatever the case is.
It's true.
There's got to be a yin to the yang, and that's how we like to
You
go
got to be
about it.
careful, though. We have to be careful not to
Insult people?
insult or defame companies who could sue us for what little we're worth.
Oh, geez, please take my 14 cents. Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
for sure.
But
But, no, All,
And,
all
it's
for fun.
it's one of those
All
things. It's
political.
all subjective.
It's all
but-
subjective.
And we would recommend, anytime, like especially with least favorite brands
And-
or even favorite brands, we recommend you try all of them.
Of course. That way you
Because-
know.
Yeah, because even with our least favorite brands, I know for a fact there are a lot of people who disagree with both of us. We disagree with each other, even.
Sure.
But there's a lot of people who disagree with us. So that's not to say that you might not like them, dear listener.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But so what's give me a couple of your favorite brands of
Favorite
liquor.
brands?
This is liquor, by the way, people. We're not talking about beer right now. That's a whole different
Oh,
conversation.
yeah, beers and wines and stuff, not even on this spectrum. This is a spirits
Only.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spirits and cocktails and all that. Yeah, I have, I'm very, for favorite brands, pretty selective, but I can just about drink almost anything, especially if I'm out drinking. I really don't get that particular. But if I'm at home and stuff, I like to keep some good stuff, at least what I think is good. I mean,
Well, you wouldn't want to keep what other people think is good, or else
not
you
the
wouldn't like it.
most primo things out there, but not like I've cut back on vodkas a lot as far as drinking at home vodka is concerned, because me and vodka at home, not a good deal. But when I do get into the hankering for some vodka, I do enjoy my favorite cheaper, affordable vodka would be Absolute, because Absolute just is easy to go with. So much. There's very little that I can think Absolute doesn't go with. But my favorite, more top-notch vodka would have to be Crystal Head. Because Crystal Head is a good, it's a good just pour and sip type drink. Yes, you can make some good different cocktails. Dan Aykroyd, who is the founder for Crystal Head, has his own recipe. It's called Cranium Cocktail, which is very delicious. It's got blood orange twist, grenadine, splash of 7-Up, and cranberry juice and other things.
That's interesting.
And yeah, I've made it a couple of times before with Crystal Head. Not bad.
Now, a good thing to note about Crystal Head for a lot of people, it's
It's a unique
gluten-free.
bottle.
It's a very unique bottle, but I
Yeah.
mean, for the vodka itself,
Yeah, okay.
it's gluten-free. I think it's organic, like certified organic or something like that.
It might be.
It's definitely worth checking out. We would definitely recommend people checking it out because, like, if
And
health conscious wise, things like that.
It's actually filtered through crystals too,
Yeah, instead of filtered through charcoal or
Right.
something like that, it's filtered
which helps
through
gives it its actual
crystal.
name, Crystal Head.
Yeah.
So it's actually that's interesting.
Crystal for the filtration and head for the bottle, since the
Yeah.
bottle's a skull.
Right.
No, Crystal is a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
It has a distinct taste. Like you can definitely
Very much.
tell when you're having a cocktail that's Crystal Head.
And that's why it's a lot of people think that, and these are people who aren't really connoisseurs or aficionados of drink, but a lot of people drink for drinking. Not a lot of people care about the value or the quality of the taste and what it is and what it's made from and stuff.
So sad.
And it is. And a lot of people, they pour any vodka and they say, vodka's vodka. That's not true for anything, obviously.
Absolutely. But vodka especially.
Yeah, like from rubbing alcohol to like things with actual notes.
Yeah.
And there's a craft to it
with
everything. But for vodka, definitely, like, you don't just drink vodka and say, oh, sure, anything will do. Like, no, that's definitely not the case here. And Crystal Head is very good.
Yeah.
Very smooth, very, very pricey, but worth every penny.
I was about to say, they have different size bottles. They have a smaller bottle, which is like, what, 40?
The 750 ml goes for about,
or
if
50?
It's on sale, it's like 45 maybe.
Okay.
But it's usually
of course,
about
we're in
50,
Texas as well. Like,
$55.
liquor here is cheaper in general, I believe, than in like California.
Possibly, yeah. So,
but then the bigger one of Crystal Head, the
1.75 liter,
that bitch is like $90.
$99, yeah.
But it's good.
Oh yeah.
And that's a decent amount of liquor too.
At least a couple. We've bought a lot of them, but like of the big ones, a couple of those.
Yeah.
And if you get like the miniature, I think the miniature itself is like still $10.
Yeah.
So
it's good though. It's worth it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely worth the price. Definitely.
I would definitely, before you make the commitment to get the for someone new, before committing to getting either of the bottles, I would definitely try to get a miniature just to try it out.
Yeah, because like you said, it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
But
not all vodka is going to be for everybody.
Sure. But that's definitely not one you just want to throw money at without giving it a cheaper try, because if you do get disappointed, you just chunked over.
Yeah. And a lot of those bigger or more expensive liquors in general, no matter what liquor is, a lot of them don't do miniatures.
That is actually true.
And so Crystal Head's good in that they actually do. Finding it might be an issue, but they do make them.
And I feel like it wasn't forever they've done that either. I feel like within the last couple of years, I've started noticing more miniatures have come out, which is nice.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they see the price tag and they're like, I'm not sure. So I think it's important for everyone to have miniatures. It's seldom as some brands do it.
Yeah.
Because, everyone deserves to have let me sample it. I have an example, which is actually the next one on my category. But we'll go ahead and hear from what your favorite vodkas would be.
Vodkas? I think I'd have to say that Stoli is my favorite.
Stoli is good stuff.
It is. Stoli is like a normal 750 ml bottle is like
pretty cheap.
$18-19.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Not bad at all.
Very, very inexpensive. Russian vodka. It's very good. Vodka expert, you can go online and look at various things of this. Vodka experts have said that as far as like what vodka is supposed to be, not what people like, not what the majority of people like, but what vodka is truly supposed to be. What it originally was.
Pretty damn close.
Stoli is probably as close as you're going to get.
Interesting.
So that I like that because that's, I like drinking stuff the way it was meant to be drank with the given liquor.
Sure.
Stoli would probably be my favorite. Really good with a mule, a Moscow mule, obviously.
Yeah.
And then for more top shelf, Belvedere would be. See this. I had trouble with this one. Belvedere is probably my favorite, but fun fact: a lot of places around here, at least, don't have Belvedere.
Which I find so surprising.
Yeah, because it's a well-known. Like it's not like an obscure brand,
right? Especially like bigger.
Like the Spectre, the last Bond movie, like that Belvedere was the official drink of that movie.
But I know Total Wine. Can you find it there?
Oh yeah, liquor stores have it, but
you mean at bars?
Yeah, I mean at bars.
Oh.
I mean a decent amount of bars that I've been to, even here or not, don't have it.
Depends, I guess. Yeah, it depends on the bar.
It'll depend on the type of bar. Like some hole in the wall bar, that's not too surprising.
They have that,
but even a lot of bars in like downtown areas, urban areas, don't have it.
Not big on the Belvedere, huh?
So
you know what they are big on, especially being here, is Tito's.
Oh god. we'll get to Tito's later.
You know what's funny? Wasn't on my list. I'm going to add a third.
Oh, it's on mine.
Oh, well, you already had it. We're going to talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about
it. But no, so if you come across a place that doesn't have a bar, or at least that doesn't have Belvedere, my recommendation is Grey Goose. That's always my second go-to.
And everywhere has Grey Goose.
Everywhere has fucking Grey Goose. Grey Goose is good.
Fantastic.
It's crisp.
Yeah.
Everything that Belvedere has. Belvedere is a Polish vodka, as to where Grey Goose is French.
They taste pretty different, though.
They do taste very different. They're both clean tasting.
Mm-hmm. Their bottles design are almost similar.
They're both frosted, things like that.
I think people might assume that they might be the same, but no.
They are very different vodkas. Oh, yeah. I like the subtle aftertaste that Belvedere has. As to where Grey Goose is much more clean.
Has some notes in it.
Yeah.
That you can taste after that.
And like I got the Belvedere unfiltered, the original unfiltered several years ago. That was interesting.
Was that the one with the black bottle?
Yes.
Yeah, that was good.
And then I have another bottle up there right now.
The Lake one.
Lake something. They have two different kinds of Lake ones. And this is the florally one, not the essence of floral notes, something like that. Not the bitter coffee one that it described. That just doesn't sound appetizing to me. But Grey Goose is really good too. Those are definitely my top three.
Grey Goose is fantastic with a dirty martini for sure.
Yeah. What's next on your list? What are we moving to? Or what are you moving to?
Oh, yes. Tequilas. Which I would say are my favorite variety of spirits.
Okay.
Tequilas for sure. Not always have been the case.
Sure.
Tastes
change over time.
Yeah, and I remember when I first started drinking, I started off like trying rums and vodkas, whiskeys, things like that. But tequilas, I've always had a hard time, because I've tried a few, to find one that I thoroughly enjoyed, and that changed when I tried Casamigos.
Ooh.
Which it's not that old. It's been around now for a few years. But what was interesting, before I get into how good it is, that was cool about Casamigos was that I went to the local Fossil Creek Spirit store, and they were selling miniature bottles before I even seen the big bottles. And so they had each one. They had a Reposado, Blanco, and Nejo. Mm-hmm. And so they were like $3.99 a piece. Yeah. I bought all three. And I tried them all, and I was just like, son of a bitch. Yeah. Right? And so then automatically I started buying I usually just buy the 750 mils at a time. Because those go for about $35 a piece, 35 to 45 depending on which one you get. And then a couple years later they came out with their fourth one, which is the Mezcal, which has such fantastic smoky, that mesquite smoke notes. Yeah. That Arizonan fire, like that wood type. Hard to explain, really, but like smoldering smoke, and it's so delicious. It's a great aftertaste. It's definitely great for mixing too, sure. Yeah. But pour that shit straight, and just enjoy that, and that's fantastic by itself.
Because that's what they made Casamigos for. Was they wanted tequilas that you could sip. Like it was specifically made to be sippable.
Not necessarily like, ooh, get our Casamigos,
shooter
margaritas, Casamigos this. But no, and that's how you're a good tequila when you don't feel like you have to mix it. Yeah. But after having tried that, it opened my palate to more different tequilas. Granted, I've never had one as good as that Casamigos yet, but I've had ones that for cheaper are okay. Yeah. But my second favorite, because it probably comes second closest to Casamigos, and this is brand new, right on the market, made by Dwayne Johnson, is Terramana. And I have found two so far that he's done in stores, a small batch, and he came out with a Blanco and a Reposado. No Añejo, no Mezcal. But
not say he couldn't in the future.
And he might, yeah. But these are brand new, and they just came out this year. So if you haven't tried that one, go ahead and give that a roll because that's a new one. But if you haven't tried Casamigos, do that as well. But Terramana, I mean, it's smooth, just not as smooth. Easy to drink straight, but just
Casamigos really takes that.
Takes the cake.
And I don't think you said who started Casamigos.
George Clooney and don't want to pronounce his last name wrong.
It's Cindy Crawford's husband.
Cindy Crawford's husband, which is Randy. Don't want to say it's Garber. It starts with a G. Randy something.
Randy Gerber.
It is Gerber.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't want to.
Yeah, they started.
Get that wrong.
They started Casamigo from what I recall, and I could be wrong about this, but they're neighbors in Mexico, or they have neighboring houses in Mexico.
Something like that.
They're friends. They wanted to, like I said, they wanted a tequila that could be sipped. They ended up making one, giving it to friends and things like that, and it just expanded. And then a couple of years ago, they ended up selling it to some large company for like $1 billion or something ridiculous like that. Like they're still on as like consultants and something like that. So they're still involved, and their name is still on it. But what started as just a very small thing for themselves and their friends is blown up to such a big.
Once it started hitting the shelves, it just went, and I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Because I heard about this before it even came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was getting wind of Casamigos, and I was like, George Clooney did it. I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, when celebs get involved, it's interesting to see what they come up with because they are celebrities, and it's interesting to see what their palate's like.
Yeah.
But when that came off, I had no idea it was going to blow up like it did. I had no idea. They throwing Casamigo parties in California, and like it's all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's just weird to me. I was just like, Christ,
It's been in a few movies. I can't remember which one, but there's one movie in particular.
Office Christmas Party. They made a mention of Casamigos.
Saw a bottle.
Yeah, and I think a couple of movies, especially during the time this came out, was getting popular. It definitely got some trademark notification in films. Yeah, which was cool. But yeah, I mean, damn, I know like George did it, but like that thing went like Terramana. I haven't really. I mean,
it's
I know
so new.
It is so new. So
and
give
then,
it time.
Obviously, the time we're in right now, like that's.
Oh right. But give it time. I'm sure The Rock's gonna throw some fun little tequila parties and sponsor his stuff. And
it's amazing how good so far. A lot of. I mean, I can only think of the two that I've knowingly tried, or the 3 different kinds. But it's amazing how good a lot of celebrities they supposedly created. I don't know how true that always is.
Well, a lot of them just take the brand. A lot of them.
It's not
like Ryan Reynolds didn't create.
He didn't create it. Yeah.
He bought it.
Promoted it.
Promoted it.
So yeah.
So right.
But no, Casamigos
It's definitely
so
and pretty affordable. Not that costly.
No.
Neither is Terramana. If you're looking to get any of them, you can get like a 750 ml bottle for like $30-something bucks, and which I know, granted, is more so than like Jose Cuervo and stuff.
Sure.
But that's because it's a quality premium tequila. It's not but it's also not as ridiculous as Don Julio. Yeah. Which, in my opinion, this is better than Don Julio.
Yeah. And it's funny you mentioned Jose Cuervo. That's actually the one tequila I have on my list. And,
oh, yeah.
I knew you were talking about Casamigos. I love Casamigos. That's definitely my favorite. But just something that's more ordinary tequila-wise.
Sure.
Cuervo's always been my go-to. The original margarita, Jose Cuervo. Jose Especial, I guess. The gold and the silver.
That one's okay. Yeah.
That's the one I think.
Maybe.
I don't know. I have a bottle of it up there somewhere. It's either Especial or original. I don't remember. But no, that's my go-to tequila if I'm not doing Casamigos. But my next category would be whiskey. I'm more of, if it's not vodka, I'm definitely a whiskey person.
True.
Love original Jameson. It's so good.
Yeah.
But that's not one of my 2 on here.
which is surprising to me.
It is. Well, it kind of is. We'll get into that in a minute. But Proper 12 is within the last year or so.
That's good stuff.
I think it's come to the U.S. Conor McGregor's Irish whiskey. I'm an Irish whiskey person. I will preface that.
Boxer?
MMA.
Something like that.
Something like FFA, whatever the fuck that's called. He's a fighter. He beats people up.
Yeah. He's the little ginger guy?
Hmm?
Is he the little redhead?
He's not little. But
he
is kind of redheaded.
Okay.
But no, that is his brand. I don't know if he started it, bought it, made it, whatever. I don't know. But it is his brand.
Interesting. Good stuff.
It's really, really good. Very similar to Jameson, I would say. A lot of Irish whiskeys are similar. But I really enjoy that. And then my more top shelf choice for whiskey, again, Irish whiskey, would be Jameson Black Barrel.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little smoother than Jameson. It does have a little bite to it, I would say, would be a nice way to put it.
Yeah.
But it's a very nice, clean Irish whiskey for a little more, if you like the little mid-scale price range. So, what are your whiskeys?
Well, first of all, completely agree with your Irish whiskey choices. Those are fantastic. And so, just to kind of get on the opposite side of the spectrum with whiskeys, I picked a couple of my favorite bourbons. How do I say this? Born in Tennessee, raised in Texas. Not that has much to say about my bourbon aficionado-ness, but I do have more of a leaning towards those. I guess because it's a little bit smooth and sweeter and easy to drink. But a couple of my favorites. First, I've always enjoyed Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels has such a distinguished flavor, but it's not Jack Daniels so much as I enjoy as it's Gentleman Jack, which is a little bit more top shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a lot more mellow.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more smooth.
Yeah.
And doesn't really taste a whole lot like regular Jack Daniels. It's kind of a betweener, I guess. And it's definitely, one of the more affordable, easier to drink bourbons out there that I thoroughly enjoy. And the other one would have to be the Old Forester Statesman Reserve, which I like Old Forester. It's pretty dang strong.
Yeah.
It's very strong. They have a 100 proof one, and then they have like the 85 proof one. And I've tried both, and they're good. But then they came out with their exclusive like Statesman Reserve one.
From the
Old Forester
Kingsman movies.
Golden Circle. Old Forester was the sponsor, I guess, for their label for the film, because in the film they have their own bourbon for the Statesman, and so Old Forester sponsored that. And in doing so, they actually created a whole new recipe for an actual bourbon you can buy, and it's Statesman Old Forester. Yes, based off of Kingsman: The Golden Circle. This is pretty damn good stuff. It's strong, very strong, but damn. What can I say about it? It's expensive. It's not dumbly expensive, but
how much is it?
For Old Forester, it's a little bit up there. For a 750 ml, it's about $46. Which, like I said, isn't the most ridiculous thing.
No, there are definitely more expensive ones.
Bourbon-wise, it's like more than you would spend, I guess, on normal Old Forester or Jack, or even...
It's still cheaper than like Jack Daniel's Single Barrel, though.
By a dollar or two, yeah. Single Barrel... I forget how much Single Barrel goes.
Single Barrel can be expensive.
Can it?
Because they have a couple different Single Barrel types, I think, yeah.
Possibly. Yeah, Single Barrel, yeah, that's a little bit more up there. So yeah, no, not too shabby. But yeah, if you happen to cross by a Statesman Old Forester, grab you a bottle, because those aren't as common, and
I'm sure they won't be around forever either.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I mean, right now they still have them.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that they're it's a limited time or whatever the case may be. But
That's interesting. I haven't tried the Statesman yet.
have you not? I thought I gave you a
Did
sample.
I might have. If I did, I don't remember.
It's been a while. It probably has been.
Yeah. Well, my last favorite, we're going into rums now. A lot of people view rum as a girly drink, maybe. I think they're definitely girly type rums, I would say. But no liquor, I wouldn't stigmatize. Drink what you want to drink. Don't give a shit what anybody else thinks. It doesn't matter.
I think there's like a more feminine to masculine ratio with anything.
Sure, yeah.
Rums shouldn't.
No, rum is sweeter in general. I mean, it's made from sugar cane, which people put feminine connotations on. Don't do that. But no, rum-wise, my favorite rum would probably be Havana Club. There's a big, depending on what part of the world you're in. There's controversy around Havana Club. There is one Havana Club that is available in the U.S. U.S. and like one other country, and then the rest of the world has another Havana Club. So the story there, during the Cuban Revolution, when companies were being nationalized, the family who originally owned Havana Club fled to Puerto Rico or another Caribbean island, and eventually started making Havana Club again, which I believe is the Havana, and I could be wrong about this. Okay, I will preface that. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I could be wrong. I'm going off of memory. I'm not looking this up. But I believe the Havana Club that they restarted is what's available in the United States. The Havana Club that's available in the rest of the world, that's also available and made in Cuba, I believe, is based on the same recipe but is not made by the original family. And so the family of the people that started Havana Club claim, and there's been court legal issues over this and distribution rights and all that kind of shit. The family who started it, if memory serves, claims that the one that's available in the United States is the original Havana Club because it's from what they started. It is a continuation of that compared to what was taken over and then started again years later. So talking about the American Havana Club that's available, or the Havana Club that's available in the United States.
Right.
That's the one I'm talking about here. It is very good. Whether you're talking about the Añejo or the Blanco. Very good, very crisp, I think. The Blanco is probably my favorite among the two.
Definitely my personal favorite of those.
They're both very good mixers, sipping, what have you. Yeah. And then my second one would be Kraken. Who doesn't love a good Kraken? There's two types of Kraken now. There's a stronger one, and then there's a... Oh, shit, that's right.
This year.
So there's the coffee flavored one, which is limited time.
Yeah.
There's the original Kraken, which has the tannish colored label. And then there's a less alcohol volume Kraken, which has a black and silver label.
Yeah.
The original tan label Kraken is what I'm talking about. It's like 98 proof or something like that. And it has so much alcohol in it. That shit sneaks up on you.
Oh, yeah, it does.
But it's so good. It's so sweet, and especially when you mix it.
That's what's dangerous about Kraken. You release it.
You really do.
Then it sneaks up and pulls you down.
That's the one thing we both blacked out on.
Yes.
Like that, it's so good, but like it.
But damn,
you'll go from 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds. Fuck me.
Yeah, very sweet though.
Yeah,
very sweet, and that's what's scary because it's so dark.
Yeah, it's so dark, so sweet. Especially when you start mixing it with stuff, you never know.
Especially if you're mixing with something with like more sugar and stuff, and
pineapple or.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
Whew. Scary, making me start to have sweats just thinking about it.
But Kraken was also one of my favorites. That's something we can mutually agree is definitely something. But if you are responsible and you know how to measure and control yourself, get some Kraken. And the thing about rum, I mean, yes, there are things you can make with it all year round, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's traditionally like a summer drink.
Yeah, you can do.
'Cause you can do. Well, I'll mention a couple of winter ideas.
Mm-hmm.
But summer wise, I mean mojitos and what's Mai Tais made with?
Mai Tai, I want to say is like pineapple and something.
Is it rum though?
Yeah.
It is?
Sure.
Okay. And then there's like hurricanes and all sorts of different summer like poolside drinks you can do with rum. So yeah, I mean, rum's definitely better for like the summertime and hotter climates. But my other favorite, I'm just going to say brand, because I like almost everything in this brand, is Bacardi, which has probably been around, I mean, forever. One of the original rums and has now so many different kinds. It's cheap, granted.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not your primo stuff, but it's just so sweet and smooth and easy to drink with so much. But I'm not talking about the Bacardi. Let's decipher this. There's the Bacardi fruit flavored ones that I've never tried in my life because gross.
And quite frankly, probably don't plan to.
I never plan to. That's terrible to me. I don't even understand it.
Any kind of flavored liquor is
I'm not a
generally
fan of that.
terrible.
Yeah. But if we're talking about like Bacardi Superior and Black and Gold and they came out with a new one. It's Cuatro Anejo.
Oh, yeah.
And that one's pretty dang good. And then they had that little exclusive one. It's Mastro de Ron. Really good stuff. But anyways, those Bacardi drinks are, that's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to vouch for no passion fruit, pineapple, orange, coconut crap. No, sorry. I don't mean to offend nobody who likes you like fruit flavored rums, drink your fruit flavored rums and have a fun blast time doing it. But no. I'm going to stick to true drinks.
You're going to walk behind them like the woman in Game of Thrones with your bell. Shame. Ding, ding, ding.
If I had a bell and a little nun sister cloak thing going on. What's it called?
Habit.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Shame. I'd be shaming everybody all day.
But seriously, just drink what you want to drink, people. We're just saying our opinions.
we give hard-headed opinions on things, and that's part of the fun. But by no means do you have to take it personal or be like, did you hear what these guys said about my favorite Bacardi? Get all mad and huffy.
If that's your favorite, it's your favorite.
Yeah.
Go for it.
And we said it here,
We don't like it, so more for you.
Precisely. There's more on the shelves for you. This is true. So, when it comes to Bacardi or really any other kind of rums that you fancy, some of the favorite things I like to do with it is take Bacardi rum and mix it with the Mountain Dew Baja Blast, which used to have been just exclusively sold at Taco Bell's. But now we're starting to see them more commonly sold at,
Or Targets
and grocery stores and stuff like that in cans and bottles. And now they're even come out with a zero sugar one, which is crazy. And, you take your rum, you take your Baja, take a lot of ice, and you take like a fresh lime squeeze and maybe a splash of grenadine if you want to add grenadine. Not grenadine, I'm so sorry, triple sec. Jesus. Maybe grenadine would be
What's this too?
not too shabby. My Bacardi Baja Blast.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah, grenadine might be bad. Might not be bad.
yeah. Triple sec, I guess, or grenadine. Who knows? Whatever you fancy. But this one doesn't have grenadine, so I'm sorry. But, that's a really good sweet summer drink. And same goes for mojitos and
regular
berries and all that kind of stuff. But
what about winter drinks? You were talking about winter
yes. Which is the good thing about Kraken is that Kraken is so strong. It's dark. It's got a lot of alcohol, and it's a really any sort of spiced or dark rum would be good with this. But like hard rum cider. Ooh. Is did you ever try the one I brought you?
I drank the whole thing.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah. How was that? Was it strong?
It was strong, but it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, a certain amount of the alcohol cooks off when you're boiling it. Just a little bit does.
Well, I'll tell you how I do it.
Or some of the water does, I guess, more than the alcohol.
Well, if you reheat it, sure.
Yeah.
But I like to take apple cider. Mm-hmm. Of course, you add cinnamon sticks and...
make it more cidery.
Yeah, apple cores and orange peels and cloves and all that kind of stuff. And cook it up, let it roll. And then once it's hot and it's infused all the flavors, then I pour the Kraken in last minute and cut it off.
Yeah.
I don't cook
so it doesn't have time to cook anything off.
No. You just pour that motherfucker in, let it hit the flavors. And that's always, that's a fun one to do. That's some good stuff. It's strong. But it's good. It's got a lot of flavor. And that's fun to always drink during the wintertime. And I think you can also do, I'm trying to remember what it's called, but you take, it's not an eggnog, it's like a hot version. Well, it's like, it doesn't sound as gross as it.
It sounds fucking disgusting.
But I think it's rum with like coconut milk and probably some regular milk too, and then you put like cinnamon and all the spices and stuff.
That's interesting. I've never had that.
But you heat it up. Mm-hmm. So it's like kind of like a hot, frothy, milky type of creamy rum drink.
Something that's not going to turn into a solid like eggnog if you heat it up.
No, it's not eggnog, everybody. But I can't remember what it's. And this might be wrong, but I believe it's a. Is that like a Cuban or it's a Puerto Rican recipe?
That's interesting.
It's an old school family recipe.
Yeah.
But like my Puerto Rican friends make it, and not bad. If I knew the name, I would tell you, but I can't think of it.
That's interesting.
But just a couple ideas for you're hankering for some rum in the winter. Yeah.
So with that, let's go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with some of our least favorite brands. Voting isn't just going to the polls on election day anymore. Options like early voting, mail-in voting, and ballot drop boxes are available to more voters and are growing in popularity.
How to Vote, a tool created by Democracy Works, breaks down the options your state offers for casting a ballot, empowering you to decide when and where to vote. Democracy works best when we all vote. But misinformation and confusion about election procedures have resulted in low voter turnout.
How to Vote, a tool created by Democracy Works, takes the guesswork out of voting. Things like signing up for election reminders, seeing what's on your ballot, step-by-step assistance requesting your mail-in ballot, exploring options for returning your mail-in ballot, checking your voter registration status, finding your nearest polling site, and making sure you have the appropriate ID.
Decide when and where you'll vote this year at howto.vote.
Okay, and we're back. So now we want to talk about some of our least favorite brands. And again, we just want to make sure it's not that these brands suck. It's not that we're not recommending them, right?
Right.
It's just we recommend everyone try everything we talk about, but be it our favorite or our least favorite, because we try basically everything liquor-wise.
Oh, sure.
And that's how we know that we don't care for things. It's just not our palate.
For sure.
We recommend you try everything we say, good or not good, because you might disagree with us.
Of course.
So, just full disclosure, that's, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, vodka, I'll start off with my least favorite vodkas, Smirnoff and Tito's. Smirnoff, I feel like, is one of the vodkas that a lot of people try first. It ends up leading people to say, oh, vodka tastes like rubbing alcohol.
Yep, it is.
And they're basing that off of the one vodka Smirnoff that they've tried. It's not my thing. I like vodkas that are more smooth than that, more clean, more crisp.
Not so
in your face about it, like with taste wise.
right. Well, it's like the ones that taste more like rubbing alcohol and stuff like that. That's because there's not. It's very simply made. Mm-hmm. You know.
Probably, I would say that probably Stoli, which is on the same level as Smirnoff price wise. Smirnoff might be like $2 or $3 more, but they're both very cheap.
But not
under $20, but like Smirnoff tastes so much cleaner and crisper than Smirnoff does, in my opinion.
Yeah, Stoli does. Yeah,
Stoli does. Then Smirnoff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're completely different.
And then my other least favorite one, which is a really popular one, especially here in Texas, is Tito's.
And why is it popular here, Aaron?
It's made here. I forget where in Texas Tito's is made.
Isn't it Austin?
It might be, or somewhere.
Or is that Deep Eddy? Wait, where's Deep Eddy made?
Deep Eddy? Isn't that made in Dallas over in Deep Ellum?
Yep, that's it, Deep Ellum. Yeah.
I think Smirnoff, Jesus. I think Tito's is made somewhere down around Austin.
Okay.
Again, it's a very bold tequila. Taste-wise, it's got vodka, tequila. Jesus. It is very bold tasting. It's just, again, I like the cleaner, crisper ones. Mm-hmm. That's also why I prefer Irish whiskeys to bourbons. Mm. To me, they're cleaner, they're crisper. Mm-hmm. They're not just quite so boom.
That's true.
That's true. American liquors in general are just more in your face taste wise, I feel like.
Yes.
And that's just not what I prefer. It's my personal preference. Which leads me to my least favorite whiskeys. Honestly, my least favorite whiskeys are bourbons.
Yeah, that's not a surprise.
Which is your favorite. But Jack, Jim, smaller ones, I don't like any of them. Like I said, they're too in your face, taste wise, too bold, too robust, I guess would be a good way to put that.
Yeah.
Just not my cup of tea, personally, or my cup of liquor.
Yeah, I understand that.
Your Canadian whiskeys, obviously like Crown Apple, the flavored Canadian whiskeys, or the flavored crowns, I guess.
I'm not a big fan of the Canadian whiskeys.
I'm not a fan of those either. The flavored ones are different. Crown Apple's fucking amazing. A couple other the Crown flavored ones are good as well. But Canadian whiskeys just aren't really my thing either. Again, it's very much like American whiskeys, very robust flavors, and just a little bit too much for me. Mm-hmm. So, and then the only other thing on my list of least favorites is I don't do cinnamon whiskey. Fireball.
Of any kind.
Fireball, Jack Fire, whatever they call
Tennessee Fire or something.
Tennessee Fire. Jim Beam has one now. Old
they
Forester.
all have one.
They all have them. Whiskey, or cinnamon whiskey, just isn't my thing. I don't care for the cinnamon candies.
It's like, well, I'm about to say, it's like, on occasion I'll enjoy a hot tamales candy, but it's like that in a glass.
Oh, that's exactly what it is.
And
it's
I
terrible.
do not like that.
It's just terrible. I've never liked the candies.
Granted, the only thing I can think that it's okay in is, like, if you want to do like a whiskey, hot like cinnamon cider, too.
Yeah.
People like that because some people put actual like candy cinnamons in those things.
Sure.
So you can always put Tennessee Fire in it, but like that's the only situation where I'm like, But even then, I wouldn't drink it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what are some of your not preferred?
So yeah, you hit the ball on Smirnoff, and I didn't even think about Tito's, but that's true too. But Sky and Taka, which Taka goes without saying, to be honest, and this is for people who still like it too, but like, you're spending $5 on a big old thing of Taka, you know it's
kind
not
of like
good.
McCormick.
Sure.
It's the same thing. Like, you can get McCormick at, like, some Kroger's and shit like that.
And
like
McCormick is like, yeah,
Ugh.
they do everything.
I don't think it's the same McCormick as the seasonings.
No. I mean the McCormick brand alcohols. Because you go to like the back level, the rows. This is McCormick, this McCormick. Because
yeah,
they kind of do it all. But and the other one, like, I don't understand this at all because it's considered like a top shelf. This one. And Sky.
Oh yeah.
I've not talk about tastes like rubbing alcohol.
Yeah.
Sky is just
I've had it mixed with things. It's okay. It has a very distinct. It's overpowering for anything you mix.
Very
it with,
overpowering. Very overpowering. That's probably one of the biggest problems.
Not my preferred.
Yeah,
Like, very rarely does anyone sip vodka. Like, it's always usually a mixer.
But I say most of the time, I mean, yeah, sure you can do vodka up, but with all this shit,
It's
you
usually
get Bloody
a
Marys,
shot or a
martinis,
mixer.
and mixers. You know,
And you don't
Mix
want.
shots.
You don't usually want, or a lot of people don't. I know some people do, but you don't usually want liquor that what you're going to mix it with. It's overpowering what your mixer is.
Yeah,
Like, you might want to know it's there. That's one thing. But
of course.
Like, being so overpowering to where, like, oh my god, when you don't have, like, assuming your ratio is good and everything, to where it's still
That's true.
overpowering, you don't want that usually. So that's
exactly it, though.
But what else you got?
For rums, two that I can name right off the bat would be Captain Morgan, which I kind of consider like the competitor of Bacardi because they're both those cheap stapled rums. But Captain Morgan is just nasty.
I don't mind Captain Morgan.
I mean, I don't mean to
It's a good
be
mixer.
harsh about the word nasty, but like I don't like it.
Of course, you
like
don't
it?
really like, huh?
You like it?
It's not that I like it necessarily. I just, if I'm going to mix it, like having a rum and Diet Coke, or mixing it with something else, that and Bacardi, I honestly don't care either way. It's fine. But you also, I think it's interesting to note, you don't like spiced rum.
Not heavy.
Even
on
Bacardi's spiced rum, you're not a huge fan of.
No, not really.
And that's the thing with Captain Morgan, like their go-to thing
Is spiced.
is spiced rum. Do they even have a silver rum? They must.
Oh, they do.
They
It's
do.
called it tastes. Thank you for reminding me. It tastes like pure water. It's Captain Morgan Silver. I think it's called. And
I don't know if I've ever seen that knowingly.
I think you and I went to a liquor store. Oh, maybe I just bought it. I don't know. But it was one time. Went to a liquor store, got the silver, and I was making quite a few drinks with it. Because, I'm going to get rid of it. But
Yeah. Didn't taste the liquor at all.
you don't even taste nothing. It's just pure, just
Well, for some people that could be a really good thing.
I guess.
Get fucked up without tasting anything.
Sure.
Might
Yeah,
not be
if
too
you're
bad.
looking for that, Captain Morgan Silver.
Oh my god.
But Jesus. And Malibu, which people know is more of the party, poolside, mixy rum. And so I get that.
It's got its place with a few different mixed drinks
Sure.
to give it that more tropical feel.
That's
But just
really all it is. But I think
bleh.
what I hate most about it is just I don't care for the flavor. I don't care for the existence of Malibu. But it is extraordinarily overrated, and it's probably due to how cheap it is.
Yeah.
But I can't.
How cheap, how sweet.
It's annoying how many people say, "Oh, Malibu." I'm like, what? Do you have no taste? Just kidding. But seriously. But yeah, when it comes to tequilas, Patron.
And this is a very controversial opinion you have on this, because
Controversial.
a lot of people like Patron. That's a very popular tequila that you got there.
I know. I don't understand it. Yes, I remember when I first got in, when I turned 21, I was trying everything, and I knew about Patron. Obviously, a lot of people heard of Patron and Cuervo, and you're thinking, well, Patron's got to be good. It's highly recommended. It's popular. It's all that. But damn, no, I never got into Patron. It's a bit too harsh. It's a lot. It's a bit much.
Yeah.
Tequila is supposed to be a lot more subtle and smooth and enjoyable, where Patron's just
Too hard. Kind of like I find bourbons, right? Overpowering, too robust. For
in
what
a
you
way,
prefer.
yeah, for tequila.
Very similar for you.
Yeah.
For that. That makes sense.
But as far as see, gin is one of those things. I'll take it. I'll leave it. I really have no care. Gin's not my least. It's probably my least favorite, but it's by no means like anything I won't drink.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just not like a whole lot of gins out there that I'm like, I have an opinion on because I don't really drink it a whole lot.
Aviation's good.
Yeah, Aviation and Tanqueray.
Thin ass bottles, like the glass on them. Like remember broke one.
Yeah.
Like that. Make them thicker.
Busted on my way home, stopping at a red light, and I was like, "Is it really that thin?" I'm like, "Come on." If Ryan Reynolds is listening to our podcast,
Make your bottles thicker.
yes,
Because we looked at that glass afterwards, and like
super thin.
on the body of it, like in the corners it was thicker, but like
Sure.
on the sides and everything, like the body of, oh my god, it was so thin.
Yeah, and it's like one little tip over and it's broken, and it's like, come on.
Because like it's not like it was just like bottle on bottle either. Like there was paper bags around the bottles, there was paper between the bottles. Like it didn't actually like smash against another hard surface.
And I mean, it's not the first time I've traveled with bottles, and I've never had that before.
But the gin itself was good.
Oh yeah.
It's no Bombay Sapphire or something like that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's just
When it permeated my car, I wasn't that upset.
Yeah.
Because it's some good stuff. But as far as my least favorite gin, if I did have a least favorite gin, it would be Bombay Sapphire. Because
that's just
I get how many
strong.
notes and stuff you put in there, but you
it's too much.
wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, on that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just so intense. It's like you were saying, when you have a drink and you're trying to do the right ratio, but it's still just too overpowering.
Yeah.
That's Bombay. It's just too much.
I think a lot of people sip Bombay too, and that would be too much.
In my opinion, that's still gross.
Yeah.
Because there's just too much flavors and notes.
Yeah.
Even though I was sipping like, ew, I don't like all the...
Yeah.
Oh, and if I had to pick a bourbon that I can't stand, it's Jim Beam. Jim Beam's gross.
It's basically the same thing as Jack Daniels.
Not at all.
I don't like any of it.
Not
so
one.
like...
But no, Aaron, no, it's not. It's not. Just, it's not.
That's funny.
You see, Jim Beam was made in Kentucky.
I was just about to say, like, Jack Daniels is Tennessee
Yeah.
whiskey.
And
or
not saying
bourbon.
that each state has to be that's the big difference, but like,
Of course, like, if to be a bourbon, you actually have to be made in Kentucky, I believe. Which would mean that Jack Daniels is technically whiskey. Tennessee American whiskey. It's not actually bourbon.
by its definition.
By a definition, yeah. It's just like tequila. I was going to mention that earlier. Mezcal. A lot of people haven't heard of mezcal. So it's one of those things that all mezcals are tequilas.
But not
Or
all,
no. All tequilas are mezcals. But not all mezcals are tequilas. So what that means, same diff either way, I think. Tequila specifically is a mezcal that is made in Jalisco, Mexico. To be quote unquote tequila, it has to be made in that one state of Mexico.
right.
If it is made anywhere else, it's the same process. It's the exact same process.
But you can make mezcal in Oaxaca.
Yes, and that's
Right.
the thing. Like, mezcal can be made anywhere.
Okay, yeah.
For it to be tequila, it has to be made in Jalisco. The
right,
state.
Right.
The Mexican state of Jalisco.
Sure.
So, all tequila is a type of mezcal. Tequila is a type of mezcal made in that one state with certain things. But not all mezcal is tequila. Mezcal in general is a drink that is made outside of the state. It is the same general process.
It's like caviar. True caviar is from the beluga whale.
Yeah. Or, yeah.
And any other caviars from any other fish is just...
Nasty fish eggs.
Well, fish roe, but it's a like caviar. But caviar, by its definition...
Or champagne is another good example.
From Champagne, France.
To be champagne, officially champagne, it has to be made in Champagne, France.
Anything made from Champagne that's not from Champagne, France is just
sparkling wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can still use the name Champagne.
You can't.
I think you can.
Can't, no, you can't put that on your bottle unless it is made.
But there's a gimmick because you have to say like
champagne like
something like that. There's a but even if the name Champagne's on the bottle, there's something there.
Most people have stopped doing that
probably
because legal issues.
Probably.
But anyway, that's off topic. Just some interesting little fun facts there. So we have some favorite cocktails. We're not going to get into depth of any of these. We're just going to bam, 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 bam these and get to our last point.
Oh, okay.
So my favorite cocktails: Moscow Mule, Dry Vodka Martini, Vesper Martini, Lemon Drop Martini. Go.
As you can see, Aaron likes a lot of martinis. The one martini I like that he doesn't is the Dirty Vodka Martini.
Blech.
Yeah, I didn't go bleh at any of yours now, did I, Aaron? Jeez. I enjoy a Tom Collins. I enjoy a nice Bloody Mary. And one that I guess didn't have a name to it, but I enjoy is a nice tequila soda with a fresh lime wedge. You know, just tequila clubbing on the rocks. It's very delicious. And so, yeah, that's a few of my go-tos.
So we're not going to take up too much. Bleh. We're not going to take up, too much more time on this last topic. We're going to go over a few of our favorite bars. Obviously, most bars are closed now unless they're just going rogue. So
Yeah.
You never know.
Some little...
But for when things open back up, when it's safe to travel again, things like that.
Yeah.
We are in Dallas-Fort Worth. So a couple of them will be local Dallas-Fort Worth bars. If you're ever in the area, we would highly recommend checking out. And then a couple of the others will be from when we've traveled. Bars. So we won't go too much into depth on them. We'll tell you what city the bars are in when we're talking about them. And maybe something we like from there. But why don't you go ahead with a couple of yours?
As far as... I only have a couple that are outside of our state, but both in Vegas. The Vesper Lounge in Las Vegas.
At the Cosmopolitan.
Right. So it's at the Cosmopolitan, which if you go to the Vesper bar, try the signature Vesper Martini, which...
Named after the Bond drink.
Mm-hmm. It's Bond themed as well. So
very lightly,
lightly.
If you didn't know, you wouldn't guess.
Because they have another bar that's actually called like the James Bond bar.
Do they?
Mm-hmm. We were there. You were playing one of the card games, and we were having a couple of martinis. It's right outside the door.
That's gone. Actually, yeah. The last time I was there, when we went with Lauren and my parents,
they got rid of it.
They got rid of it. It's a barber shop and a backroom, like secret prohibition style bar now.
God.
It's very different.
Is it cool?
I didn't go in.
Oh.
I just saw it passing by.
We'll go
and I read about it. But yeah, I was disappointed because I like that.
They had some good freaking martinis. But the Vesper is good in Vegas, and it's a very nice.
Probably our favorite bar in Vegas.
Yeah, because it's got a lot of nice dim lit lounging areas, and any bar you go to in Vegas has great craft cocktails.
Yeah.
But the other cool one that's also in the Cosmopolitan that I like is the Chandelier.
That one's just pretty.
But
the drinks are good and everything like that, but that is just a beautiful bar to go to.
And it has
multi-layered or multi-story.
That's the thing. It has
you
a lot
can go
of
up in the chandelier,
yeah. And it's inside it. That's what's cool. It's a very cool scenery.
Yeah.
I guess if you just want to have a drink somewhere like neat, but that's probably just because it's so distinguished.
Yeah.
Because I mean, chandelier bars are there, you know.
Yeah.
But that's a badass one, and some local ones we have here for just a little fun. If you want a place to, play some pool, darts, smoking indoors, which is not as common these days. But O'Shea's Irish Pub. It's just a fun little hole in the wall type place to go have a few good drinks, and I enjoy entertainment a lot of times. Because it's not just fun to just sit around and drink and what else you got to do.
Really good fried pickles. Oh. Their snacks in general are really good.
Yeah. The Irish nachos.
Yeah.
They have really good food too.
Yeah.
And they do karaoke and live bands. So
they do trivia night, their live bands, karaoke, all that sort of stuff, yeah.
And it's big. Pretty spacious.
For being a hole-in-the-wall bar, it is huge. Absolutely huge.
Lots of pool tables.
They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 pool tables, I think. They've got one of those golf machines, the darts, all sorts of stuff.
But no, that's always a fun little go-to. And the Sundance Square in Fort Worth, the library, which that's the second one I'd say is pretty open and has some entertainment.
A few pool tables. They've got a skee ball.
Skee ball, that's it.
They've got some other stuff too. I think they've got the basketball hoops and maybe a few other things.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's kind of cool because there's an upstairs to that as well. They have a whole side section for just like sitting and lounging, and then you got the other side with pool tables, and they departmentalize it very well.
Yeah, they do.
There. And it's called a library because they keep a bunch of old library books at their bar, and they put your receipt in a book when you go and sign the receipt. So that's kind of neat, but loosely called the library because of that.
Yeah.
But no, fun.
And that's on that theme. Another one in Fort Worth, not too far from Sunday, or in downtown Fort Worth, is Thompson's Bookstore. Old building built in the 30s, 40s, something like that. Prohibition style bar, has a speakeasy in the basement that you have to have a password for.
Which is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
It is
space,
also though.
It is rather small, but since it's 2 stories, it kind of evens out a little bit.
Sure.
But bookstore, it is like library themed as well. So they put your receipts in books there too.
That's right.
Cool.
And then, I mean, pricey, but their craft drinks are.
Yeah, it's specialty craft drinks. Like you can't just, I don't think you can just go and order just a straight up beer or something like that there.
I remember one time me and Kristen went for my birthday, and what did she order? I think we both just got like Jameis on the rocks or something like that. And they charge you an arm and a leg.
I was about to say, I'm
just
sure
because
that costs
it's
you a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So no, if you do go, if you're gonna spend money, get actually one of their signature craft drinks
because their drinks are really good.
They are. So don't just get like a normal thing you get everywhere else. That's a place to go get something special.
Yeah. That's a really great place. Another place in Fort Worth, and I'll get to ones outside of Dallas Fort Worth, is Silverleaf. Now it's actually a cigar lounge. So if cigar isn't your thing, can't smoke cigarettes in there.
No, it's strictly cigars.
Strictly cigar, maybe pipes. I don't know.
And it's sports.
They got some TVs and stuff like that. But they've got a really good, obviously it is a bar that has a cigar room. Right. You can buy a cigar.
You could just go and have a drink.
Oh, yeah.
But you can't bitch about the cigar smell, because that's the thing.
They've got really good options for both their liquor and their cigars.
And I'm not very aficionado with the cigars, but they have these little, if you're not big on them either, they have these little skinny ones, like cigarellos, I guess.
It's even smaller than most cigarillos are.
And it's pre-cut and easy to light. And so that's what I usually go with.
Good for beginners, I would definitely say.
Yeah, that's fair.
Moving out of Dallas-Fort Worth, the Moose Knuckle Pub in Austin on 6th Street. We went there the weekend of my graduation.
6th Street.
We were walking up and down 6th Street.
Got pretty shit-faced.
We did, and that was probably our favorite bar. They had a A lot of them on 6th Street are really small.
Yeah, and didn't have a lot of entertainment. That one had beer pong.
Yeah, beer pong. Yeah. They had a couple other things too, but that one had beer pong. We had fun there.
Mm-hmm. A lot of shots.
And then New York, like we said, the Vesper and the Chandelier are our 2 favorites.
Las Vegas.
What did I say?
New York.
Oh, yeah, New York. Haven't been to New York yet. That's on the bucket list.
Yeah, that's true.
Vegas-wise, Chandelier and the Vesper are 2 favorites. Another favorite is probably Nine Fine Irishmen at New York, New York.
Another Irish shout out.
Yeah. New York, Las Vegas, Nine Fine Irishmen. Really great. It's a traditional English-Irish style pub feel. Love the atmosphere there. The drinks are good.
And which hotel does that?
New York.
Oh, you did say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what's really great about this place actually isn't even the drinks; it's the food.
And when we say food, there's one thing.
There's one thing in particular. Literally haven't eaten anything else at this place because why would you? But the Irish nachos at Nine Fine Irishmen, holy fuck! It's technically an appetizer dish.
But they're big.
They're big. It's an appetizer. And like the waitress, the last time I was there, the waitress looked at us kind of weird when that's what I ordered for my meal. And even when me and you went last time, like the waitress we had then, she looked at us kind of weird as well. And like, let us live our life.
I know. I just want a nice nacho and a tall Guinness.
And that, because the Irish nachos, I don't get it with any meat. No chicken, no beef hash, no nothing. Just Irish nachos plain. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Comes with the beer cheese and chives, aioli and...
it's so good.
It's good.
So good. But, well, that is our little spiel on alcohol, I guess.
Yeah.
Any parting thoughts for our audience before we leave them for a week?
Not too much to say. Just I hope you listen to this podcast and you get some good. If you're open to new ideas of brands and stuff that you haven't had before, hope this helped you out.
And like we said, try all of our.
Yeah, on
like
both,
it or not, favorite or least favorite.
Yeah, I mean try them all, obviously, and you'll know. But yeah. So for all you little aficionados out there, or just enjoy a drink, I hope this was fun and also helpful.
And I want to give a shout out. We haven't done this before. I want to give a shout out to, not a shout out, I guess, but recommend, I guess, that people visit our Instagram page.
Oh, yeah,
and give us a follow. At Millennials with Mike's podcast.
Yeah.
On Instagram. Has a link to our podcast dashboard where you can find our podcast each week. Mm-hmm. We do post the day that we launch our podcast, or the day each week that we launch our podcast, we post. And you can find us there. You can send us any questions.
Yeah.
Anything
any suggestions
like
on topics to talk about too? I mean, whatever.
So yeah, go and give us a follow. And other than that, stay safe, be healthy. We'll see you next time.